Hello, my friend. I know you're not here out of curiosity. You're here because something in you has been hurt. Perhaps you've been rejected. In love, in your career, or in a moment that made you question your own worth. I'm not here to teach you how to get over it quickly. I'm here to sit beside you and help you understand it more deeply. Because I believe some wounds only begin to heal when we're brave enough to face them with honesty and grace. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 21 lessons drawn from Stoic philosophy wisdom I've gathered after years of working with people who've been through a lot. People like you who are learning how to move forward, not just stronger but calmer and more at peace. And if you're truly serious about your journey of growth and healing, I've created a free ebook just for you, Standing Strong After Loss. Stoic Lessons for Inner Peace. You can get it completely free just by watching the video till the end and following the instructions at the final part. But before we begin, I invite you to reflect on one question. If you were never rejected, would you still know what's truly meant for you? The answer might just appear in the lessons that follow. Lesson 1. The power of non-attachment. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why do we fear loss so much? We cling to everything. Love, career, reputation, as if letting go means the end of life itself. But the truth is, whether you like it or not, one day everything will leave you. When you truly understand this, only then do you begin to taste real freedom. I remember an older man in his 60s telling me, I spent my whole life trying to protect everything: money, status, respect. But then I realized in the end, I'll lose it all. Even this body. From that moment, he lived lighter than ever. He loved his wife not out of fear of losing her, but because he chose to love. He worked not for applause, but because his work had meaning. And most importantly, he knew when to let go. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Love nothing so much that when it leaves you lose yourself." That is the essence of Stoicism, to be grateful without being attached. You can love deeply, but still be ready to release. You can own things, but never let them own you. Picture this: you hold a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more slips through your fingers. Life works the same way. The more you try to control it, the more it escapes. But open your hand and the sand rests gently in your palm without stealing your peace. Letting go doesn't mean indifference or apathy. It means loving without fear, enjoying without clinging, giving without expecting anything in return. Those who understand this possess a rare strength, the strength of a free soul. Ask yourself, what are you clinging to right now? A relationship that drains you, a dream that no longer fits, an image of yourself that's long outdated. Loosen your grip, give it room to breathe, and give yourself the chance to truly live. Epictetus said it best. Don't demand that things happen as you wish. Wish that they happen as they do, and you will find peace. When you stop fighting reality, you start living in harmony with it. And that is freedom, untouchable, unbreakable. So can you love without clinging? Can you enjoy without owning? Lesson 2. The power of silence. When not reacting becomes strength. Have you noticed that the loudest person in the room is often the most insecure? Meanwhile, the quiet one draws the most attention. Silence is not weakness. It's a form of power that few truly understand. I once attended a meeting where two men were arguing, voices escalating. Then there was another man, the leader, sitting calmly, saying nothing. When the argument reached its peak, he simply looked at them, smiled slightly, and said one sentence. We all want the best outcome here, don't we? The entire room went silent. He didn't need to shout to be heard. His power came from restraint. Epictetus said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgment about them." When you explode in anger, you hand control to someone else. They drag you into their storm. But when you remain silent, you keep your power. You observe, you analyze, and then you respond with reason, not impulse. Silence is not passivity. It's strategy. You don't react instantly because you know time reveals truth. I've seen countless people lose opportunities, relationships, and respect simply because they couldn't pause for a few seconds. Try this. Next time someone provokes you, don't respond immediately. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Watch. You'll see the difference. Crowds react. The wise choose their moment. Marcus Aurelius reminded us. If you are distressed by anything external, it is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Don't let anyone touch your inner peace without permission. Have you ever won a battle simply by staying silent? Lesson 3: When solitude becomes the strength of the strong. Most people fear solitude. They need noise, constant notifications, someone to text or call, a TV playing in the background. But the truth is, if you never learn to be alone, you'll always depend on others to feel whole. I once met a woman in her 50s. After her husband passed away, she said, "I've lost everything." But over time, she started reading, meditating, and painting. Months later, she told me, "I've never felt so free in my life." Not because she erased her grief, but because she turned solitude into an opportunity to rediscover herself. Seneca once wrote, "No one can be happy if they are not at peace with themselves." Solitude is not emptiness, it's space. Space to listen to your own voice instead of drowning in the noise of the world. Think about it. A warrior trains in solitude before battle. A composer needs silence before creating music. A leader seeks stillness before making life-altering decisions. Greatness is born in the quiet. If you fear being alone, maybe it's because you've never truly faced yourself. But that's the ultimate lesson. Sit down with no phone, no TV, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. At first, it's hard. Over time, you'll realize you are stronger than you ever imagined. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." Inner peace doesn't live out there. It lives in here. Are you ready to spend one full day alone? No noise, no social media, just to discover what's really inside you. Lesson 4. When long-term thinking becomes the advantage of the wise. Have you noticed how most people live only for today? They crave instant gratification, a new phone, a compliment, a few likes on social media. But when you're hypnotized by the moment, you miss the biggest picture of all your future self. Stoicism teaches, don't let yourself be blinded by the moment. Always look beyond. Marcus Aurelius once said, let every action and thought serve something greater. Long-term thinking is a form of power. It separates you from the crowd and shields you from impulsive decisions. I once knew a man who wasn't wealthy in his youth. His friends spent money on flashy cars, clothes, and endless parties. He, on the other hand, invested in learning health and skills. 20 years later, he was financially free, while many others were drowning in debt. The difference wasn't luck. It was vision. Long-term thinking also gives you control over emotions. When someone insults you, do you react instantly? Or do you ask, will this matter in 5 years? 90% of the time, the answer is no. And with that one question, you save your peace. Picture a seed. It won't bear fruit today. But if you nurture it in a few years, it becomes a tree that offers shade and fruit. Life works the same way. Every decision you make today is a seed. What are you planting for your future? Epictetus warned, do not surrender your soul to what is fleeting. When you truly grasp this, you stop chasing temporary pleasures and start building what lasts: wisdom, character, inner peace. So ask yourself, are you living for the moment or for the bigger picture? 10 years from now, will the choices you make today make you proud or make you wish you had thought longer? Lesson 5, embracing pain, the greatest teacher you'll ever have. There's a truth most people don't want to hear. Pain is inevitable. We try to avoid it at all costs through distractions, indulgence, or relationships that fill the void. But the Stoics understood something profound: running from pain only makes it chase you harder. I once met a woman who lost her husband after 30 years of marriage. She told me, "At first I tried to forget. I traveled. I partied. But the grief was still there, waiting for me at home. Eventually, she stopped running. She sat with her pain. She cried. She wrote in her journal. She searched for meaning in the loss. And later she said, 'I'm not who I was before. I'm stronger. I understand myself better,'" Seneca wrote. There is no favorable wind for the sailor who doesn't know his destination. Pain is the headwind. It slows you down, makes you gasp for air, but it shapes your direction and builds endurance. Think of a piece of steel. It becomes stronger only after enduring the fire. Humans are the same. Nothing valuable patience, courage, calm comes from comfort. Every virtue worth having is forged in adversity. Next time life hurts, you don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "Who will I become because of this?" That's the question of a strong soul. Epictetus said, "Don't wish for life to be easy. Wish to be stronger." When you embrace this truth, you stop resisting and start learning from every trial. Have you ever experienced a pain that transformed you? If so, share your story, because someone out there might need your strength today. Lesson 4. When long-term thinking becomes the advantage of the wise. Have you noticed that most people live only for today? They chase instant gratification, a new phone, a compliment, a few likes on social media. But when you live only in the moment, you miss the biggest picture of all your future self. The Stoics taught, "Don't be hypnotized by the present moment. Always look beyond." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Let your every action, every thought serve something greater." Long-term thinking is power. It separates you from the crowd and protects you from impulsive choices. I once knew a man who wasn't wealthy in his youth. His friends spent on luxury cars, clothes, and endless nights out. He spent his time learning building skills and investing in his health. 20 years later, he was financially free while many of his peers were drowning in debt. The difference wasn't luck, it was vision. Long-term thinking also gives you emotional control. When someone insults you, do you react instantly? Or do you pause and ask, "Will this matter in 5 years?" 90% of the time, the answer is no. And in that single question, you find peace. Think of a seed. It won't bear fruit today. But with care and time, it becomes a tree offering shade and sweetness. Life works the same way. Every decision today is a seed. What are you planting for your future? Epictetus warned, "Do not surrender your soul to what is fleeting." When you understand this, you stop chasing what fades and begin building what endures: wisdom, virtue, inner calm. So ask yourself, are you living for a moment or for a masterpiece? 10 years from now, will you thank yourself for what you did today? Lesson 5. Embracing pain, the greatest teacher. Here's a truth few want to hear: pain is inevitable. We spend our lives trying to avoid it through distractions, indulgence, or relationships that numb us. But the Stoics knew this: running from pain only makes it chase you harder. I once met a woman who lost her husband after 30 years of marriage. She said, "At first I tried to forget. I traveled, I went to parties, but the grief was still there waiting for me when I got home." Finally, she stopped running. She sat with her pain. She cried. She wrote in her journal. She searched for meaning in the loss. And later she said, "I'm not who I was before. I'm stronger now. I understand myself better." Seneca wrote, "There is no favorable wind for the sailor who has no destination." Pain is the headwind. It slows you down, makes you struggle, but it also shapes your course, builds endurance, and strengthens your spirit. Picture steel. It only hardens after fire. Humans are no different. Nothing truly valuable. Patience, courage, resilience is forged in comfort. Every great virtue is born in hardship. So next time life wounds you, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "Who will I become because of this?" That's the question of the strong. Epictetus said, "Don't pray for life to be easier. Pray to be stronger." When you embrace this truth, you stop resisting and start growing. Have you faced a pain that transformed you? Share it because someone else may need that strength today. Lesson 6. Saying no, the power of the free. How many times have you said, yes, when your heart was screaming? No. We grow up believing that pleasing others will earn us love. But every time you say, yes, against your will, you betray yourself. I once met a woman in her 50s who told me, the day I learned to say no, my life changed. I felt lighter than ever before. Her words reminded me of Epictetus. A slave is not the one in chains, but the one who cannot say no. The power of no is not about defiance. It's about protection, guarding your peace, your energy, your dignity. When you say no, you're saying, I know my value. I respect my time. It's freedom from the pressure to please, freedom from the fear of being disliked. Think about it. How many sleepless nights have you had because you said yes out of guilt? How many times have you walked into situations you didn't want just to avoid saying no? If this sounds familiar, it's time to learn the art of a calm firm. No. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Refusing isn't selfish. It's a shield for what matters most, your health, your mind, your character. Next time someone asks for something that drains you, what will you say? Do you dare put yourself above their expectations? Lesson 7, when not reacting becomes victory. Have you ever been provoked so deeply that you wanted to explode a harsh word, a disrespectful gesture, an injustice? Reacting may feel satisfying for a moment, but what comes after? You lose your calm, your image, and sometimes your opportunities. I once witnessed a tense meeting. A man was attacked with sharp words. Instead of striking back, he stayed quiet, listened, then simply said, "Thank you for your feedback." That was it. His composure exposed his opponent's weakness. When you don't react, no one can control you, Epictetus said. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Silence gives reason time to speak. You're no longer a victim of emotion. You're its master. Try this next time someone angers you. Don't respond for 10 seconds. Breathe. Ask, will this matter in 5 years? 90% of the time, the answer is no, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself. When you are angry, remember you're losing something far more precious than what they can take from you, your peace. And peace is your greatest weapon. Have you ever won a battle by saying nothing? If so, share it. Someone out there needs your wisdom today. Lesson 8, discipline, the bridge to freedom. It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? Freedom and discipline seem like opposites. But without discipline, you remain a slave to impulses, to desires, to laziness. I once asked a successful older friend, "What's your secret?" He laughed and said, "I'm not smarter than others. I just do what needs to be done even when I don't feel like it." That's discipline, the rare skill most people lack. The Stoics understood this. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. And discipline is how you do it. It's not punishment. It's protection. Protection from bad decisions, from impulsive acts that can destroy a life. Seneca wrote, "Freedom is not for the weak." If you want freedom, financial, emotional, spiritual, you must embrace discipline. Wake up early to train. Learn when others sleep. Stay calm when others erupt. That's the price of liberty. Ask yourself, are you truly free if you can't say no to your own bad habits? Are you free if anger owns you every time it strikes? True freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's being strong enough to do what you must. Do you agree? Lesson 9. Don't live for applause. Live for principles. Have you noticed how obsessed people are today with validation? We post a photo and wait for likes. We do something good and secretly hope someone praises us. The problem is, when you live for applause, you'll die the moment the clapping stops. The Stoics understood this deeply. My worth does not depend on the eyes of others. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself. Don't listen to the noise outside. Turn inward. When you do what's right simply because it's right, you stop needing the approval of the crowd. I once met a doctor in his 50s who turned down a huge bribe to keep his integrity intact. When I asked if he feared losing the opportunity, he said, "Opportunities lost can be regained. Character lost is gone forever." That is the power of living by principles, not applause. Ask yourself, what you're doing today, is it for admiration or because it's truly right? Admiration is fragile. It comes and goes. Principles remain even when no one is watching, Epictetus said. If you want to be free, don't let praise or blame control you. The truth is, compliments and criticism reflect other people's minds, not your value. So, are you living for principles or for the gaze of the world? Do you dare to do what's right even when no one cheers? Lesson 10. Seek truth, not ease. In a world addicted to shortcuts, the person who chooses the steep road becomes rare. Most of us want what's quick, what's easy, what hurts the least. But everything truly valuable, wisdom, virtue, resilience, is born from hardship. I once met a man in his 60s who had gone bankrupt twice. I asked, "Didn't you want to quit?" He smiled and said, "I wasn't looking for easy. I was looking for the truth about myself, and only adversity gave me that." Today, he's not only financially secure, but a mentor to thousands of young people. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The right path is rarely the easy one." When you avoid difficulty, you also avoid the chance to grow. Pain is temporary, but its lessons last forever. Think of an athlete. If he chooses only easy workouts, will he ever stand on the podium? Life works the same way. Those who chase convenience stay fragile. Those who face resistance become unshakable. Epictetus reminds us, don't wish for things to be easier. Wish to be stronger. Don't pray for a smooth road. Pray for stronger legs. So, ask yourself, are you choosing truth or comfort? When life puts you at a crossroads, which road will you take? And as promised, you can now receive the free ebook, Healing After Rejection, Stoic Wisdom for the Mature Soul. Click the link in the description to download it. It's a gift I've written from the heart for those brave enough to keep moving forward. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. The journey isn't over, and we will meet again. Like old friends, the kind who have fallen and still choose to rise.